going to do here is the same exact thing we did with this mare just a minute ago on the ground. Get her to stand across this pole, and that pole again represents pressure from the ground. So letting her stand here with her feet across and get comfortable is a must in the beginning here. And so I'm going to ask her now to move to her right. So first thing I'm going to do is get a hold of bridle reins equally in each hand, and then I'm gonna just ask with my left leg, just barely a little bit. I'm gonna hold a little bit of pressure and wait. I'm gonna help her with my rein to get her to move her front feet here to start with. There, and then we'll bring the back feet. Now she just went on off. I didn't tell her to go off. She took herself off of the pressure. It's easier for a horse to go off of a pole than it is to stay on it. Now she's out here in where there's no pressure from the ground, and she wanted to argue with me about putting her back up onto this pole. That's okay. That's normal behavior. So I'm going to just sit here and let her rest. I've made this the best place to be. Exact same thing that we were doing on the ground. I'm going to move back to the left this time. So I'm setting slightly to the right. I'm going to hold her there if I can to keep her from backing off of that pole. I've caught her with my left foot over here to keep her from going too far, and she just right there teetering on the edge of that pole on the ground, and I need her to get her hip over here right now. She's stuck. There it is right there. I'm going to let her stop right there. So I needed for her to know that just like on the ground, when I ask for something, I'm only asking for one step. I'm not asking for her to take a step and then flee. I need for her to listen to me for every step. I'm going to ask for one step to her right. What I'm doing with my hands is just keeping her head and neck straight out of her neck. And I'm leaning over here telling her with my left seat bone first to move to your right. She's stuck behind. Now she's free. Perfect. Step into freedom. So I'll just sit here on her. I'm going to go back across this pole to her left now. So now she's feeling my right seat bone. She's feeling the left bridle rein just slightly. And my right leg just barely. She's wanting to back up. I don't want her backing up. I want her to go forward. There. Bring her hip. She's stuck in the hip. She's stuck trying to back out of it. Backed over the pole instead of listening to me, so I'll stay right here and keep going forward if I can. I've got to go forward. There's forward. There she felt release right there in that step forward. Now she's back where I want her so I can turn her loose. So when she was resisting going forward, I met her with the same amount of pressure that she was going backwards with my legs, and with moving her around a little bit. And then when I felt her step forward, she stepped forward into freedom. And then I could put her back up on this pole. So it was a release when she took that first step that helped this to work. So I'm going to ask her to move to her left again. She's stuck in the hip. I need to get the hip over. See, when they just shove that shoulder out because of that outside leg, and they bend around your leg and they're looking back at it and they've got their hip stuck, they're really not listening to you. I need for her to think about moving her ends, her front end and her hind end, independent of one another, but keeping straight in her body. More like that, see? When she's straight in her body, then she can flow with her feet. If she's bent in her body, she's confused in her mind as to where we want her body to go, and she's just going out through the bend, avoiding what we want. See, she's leading shoulder first there, and her hip is lagging, so I need to put a little bit of resistance against that shoulder on the left side in that instance. That head shaking is just because she's feeling my feet ask her to do something, and she's wanting to argue with it. So it's attitude. That'll all go away. I'm not concerned about that right now. So if I pick a fight with her because of what she's doing with her head, I'm I'm going to take her confidence away. I'm going to just let that go on for the time being, because when it gets transferred down to her feet like that, the head will get still. Get transferred down to her feet. See, when her feet start to move, her head gets still. Perfect. Sit here a minute. She's starting to think. So I'm going to come off of this pole to the left, just like we did on the ground. Now I'm going to have her back up through here, turn just her front end to the right. I'm going to have her back up between those poles. See, she's bent right now. I'll back right between those and sit here a minute. I'm going to side pass up onto this right pole. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to side pass back to the left. Right here, I'm going to have her take just her hind end around out through this hole. Now I'm going to have her move her front feet. There. Now let's go forward through that hole. Go forward. Right there. Wait. Now I'm going to ask her to move to her right. Head's arguing. It hadn't got to her feet yet. There, she got it down to her feet. Perfect. Perfect. Let's go off of this pole and up onto the one on my right. It doesn't matter where you go, really. It just matters that you determine ahead of time what you want her to do. What I determine ahead of time is my clear mental picture. And when she does what I want, then I don't want her going off of it. She already got off of it. I caught her with my right foot, but she ran through my right leg there. Get her forward a little bit, and now come back to her left. Let's go past that hole and up onto the one onto the left. So I need the hip to speed up a little bit and the front end to maintain position. She's got to go forward. She's behind that. There we go. Hip is lagging. Shoulders coming out first. See where my hands are right now are up and towards my right shoulder. My left leg is going to put a little block on this shoulder here because her shoulder's wanting to lead. Her hip's lagging behind. So I'm going to help her to look to the left a little bit and then move to her left. Look left and move left. Don't back up. Don't back up. She's already backed out of it. So now I need to get forward motion. You can hear her grunting. She's resisting that forward. That's why on the groundwork we do forward motion under pressure. That pole was representing pressure. She didn't want to go forward. So I helped her into that pressure, and now she's in complete release. So pressure is just an opportunity. It's not anything more than an opportunity for you to help your horse to get more comfortable listening to you. So I hope you can see how this transferred to her back from what we were doing on the ground. And it's the same concept, and I'm just aware of body parts, what she's doing with her feet, and helping her to do exactly what I wanted her to do.